Hello. Good evening to the next session of Blueprints Compendium Vol.3. Today we'll be explaining on a bit more advanced concepts uh, that we were going through last time, and today will be a bit more advanced than that. So let's get started. 1 second. Uh, yep. So along with that, let's move here as well. So in the last session, we were explaining a lot of concepts like the blueprint editor, the components, the variables, events, actions, and we've gone through all of these. Structures, macros, functions. We've seen all of these before, and now today we'll be moving on to a bit more advanced concepts about the use of these functions inside Unreal Engine. So let's see how those work. Our very first function is what we call a sequence. This is more than a function, it's more of a flow control node. Now, what's a flow control node? A flow control node is that which is used to control the flow of the execution of the code. So sequence over here, what it does is if you want to execute some part of the function first, and then once that entire part is over, it rolls back and comes back to the sequence node, and then does the next set of functions that you want it to execute. So this is how sequence exactly works. And now let's see an example usage of this particular node. If I'll be showing this on Unreal Engine, let's go to some, let's see. Let's just put this inside this actor2 class. And yeah, so now um, inside our actor2 we see that okay, so suppose on event begin play, we want to first execute. Let's bring the sequence node into this, and on event begin play, I'll add a variable over here. Let's call it float. Let's put this of the structure float. First float, let's have some variable over here. So first what we want to do in the code is we want to set the value from 0 to 200, and we want to print the string. Yeah, this is what we are trying to do. Is this any problem? Just let me know. I can I'm monitoring. Okay, there's a blank screen according to a lot of people. Okay. Okay. Wait, let me fix this. Okay, okay. Is it visible now? Hello, hello. Sorry about that. Is it visible? Is my screen visible? I think it should be visible now. Okay, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you, Paichim, for helping me out. Yeah. So continuing on, I'll just recap of what I was explaining from the beginning. So we're going to be going through a bit more advanced concepts in this session, and today's our first function that we're going to be discussing is a sequence. So a sequence is basically a flow control node which is used to organize your code in a more neater manner. Like suppose if you want a part of the code to execute first, and then later on you want the next part of the code to execute as soon as that gets over, you would use a sequence node attached to that. So we're explaining how a sequence node works. So we just made we from like a last class tutorial, we already have a proper actor, and I'll just be explaining how sequence works. So you can create any random actor to test it out, and use the same functionality inside your blueprints. But yeah, so suppose you have like a first float, which is about, like, let's say we are in a first iteration we want to execute, in that we want to say that we want a first float's value to be 200. We're going to print that value, and then after that we want something else. Let's say after this, let's say it should print some number 1000, let's say 10,000. And before it executes this, we can add a delay node, because you gotta wait till that part executes or something like that. Let's have a delay node for like 3 seconds. Then it will set the value, and then after that it will print string. Okay. And then after that we can also do something else. We can add like a complete new, like another functionality itself. Like suppose, let's say I want to make a teacher or something. Basically the idea is very simple. If you want to like execute multiple parts of the code at different instances of time, I mean, like after you complete like one part of the code, it's more like arranging it in a more neater manner. In actuality, a sequence, all that it does is basically this. It's basically this. In actuality, what we are trying to do, right? But this entire one line of code might seem a bit long. It doesn't feel organized in my opinion, and we might get confused in exactly how it works. So that's why we arrange it in a more better way.
Other than shops, they need
And
like all the temples also, no?
one second. Yeah. So this is how it looks more neater, more managed, and we can do like, let's say increment int or something, like increase the value from 0 to 1. We can, if you want, you can multiply stuff, just go crazy with this, and then after that you can print string. Okay. And yeah, so this is exactly how the oh yeah, I'm sorry if I called your name out wrong. It's my bad.
So
Yeah.
Pradeep, what I'm thinking, like,
Yeah.
can we just add a
Okay.
temple
Uh,
and then
but yeah, if you guys have any doubts,
Akash
please
is like
message on
the individual
in
temple.
this
He will add
what do you
some
say
Indian character in the path,
in the
and
live chat. I'm looking at it
then
occasionally.
we
I'll
will
keep
have to
switching
talk about
screens,
all
and
other
yeah, let me
details,
know if you need
then
anything, or
like how
anything
can
like
we
that.
add
I'll instantly
formulas
clear all
if
of
we
your
want
doubts. Yeah. So
temple
moving
system,
on.
or
Yes,
maybe
this is
we
exactly
can add
how
a key
sequence
also.
would work.
Just to
Um,
be clear about what I am going to work on is
Now, if you want to see
first
its
I'm going to
execution,
create a
let's say
CC
do we have a
which will
BP
go
act 2
one of
here?
the path.
Okay, it's not there. Let's
Where
drag one
interactable,
out.
not interactable will be a question,
And
but
yeah, so we
we
have our
have a
active
similar
blueprint over here.
walking around the path. We'll try to
Let's
create a
not save this for
scene
now.
where a code will be showing how much days and how much time is left for the event to happen.
Just give it a second. It's my
Then
first
you can
time I'm
find
running.
ways to
Now,
create
as you can
real
see,
life event in Fortnite
okay,
over the real
a
ISO,
lot of messages
the
came,
Indian Standard
and
Time.
we have no idea
So
why.
currently just working
I
on
think
I
I
don't
think
know
it's
whether
because
it
in
will
our
be
last
working
session
or
we
not
did
because
create
I'm currently exploring how
some
we
things
can
in some
create
other blueprint, and
real time
because of
events so
which
that
it's
we
getting
can
generated
appreciate
again.
that there is a event going to
Let's see
happen in
where
this
those
path.
are coming from. Yeah,
So
it's
that's what
this
I'm
one.
working on currently.
This one has,
And
but I don't think there's an active
what
blueprint
I have
inside.
achieved
Let's
is
see.
what one of the side experience where people can come in and talk separately or can
Okay, close
talk
this.
like in community
Is there a
wise.
zombie? Let's see if there was a
We
zombie
have a
inside a
live
blueprint.
event going on, and I mentioned what the list
Hmm.
of action formulations for
Let's like remove all of these
real time
functionalities.
event, and
We do
then
not
this
want
is
them right now. these are like old blueprints that we created in the previous session for explanation of how to create a first person character from scratch. But yeah, so let's see, is there anything else that I'm missing? Hmm. Now I guess that's about it. Let's see now what exactly has happened. First it should print 200, then after a delay of 3 seconds it should print this, and then after that it should do this. So let's see what's happening. So it does print 200. There's a 5 coming from somewhere, and then after 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, okay, it's continuously showing hello, and we have no idea why. Oh yeah, that's simple. Okay, that's my bad. Okay, yeah. So
It's on 29th. So we can actually try how the event thing works.
let's see if this works.
Just a small event like
It's
if
200
we
now,
create,
and now you see 10,000,
multiple people will do
and yeah. Okay, let's see why this part didn't work. Yeah, in case you guys want to save on compile, just go to here and press on success. So it will automatically save every time you press compile. Okay, someone's asked a doubt about the 2cc sessions. Okay, so this is part of a 3-part series continuing from a previous patch. If the recordings are all available on in our channel, if you guys want to go, you guys can go back to the old recordings and see it. But I'm trying to explain it in such a manner in today's session that whatever you see in the previous class, it's nothing connected to this one, so it's completely fine. This is a complete new setup of explanation of blueprints, and this doesn't require last classes, last sessions. What do you say? Last sessions, whatever was happening, it doesn't require anything from there. I will be sharing these documents with you guys if you want all 3 of them again, if you guys want it. And this would cover like most of the blueprints. You guys can explore this, and you can see that each function has they've given their own what do you say, kind of like an explanation of how it works. So yeah, you can see in sequence 1 it opens, and then they open the gate, stuff like that. Then it would spawn a bullet, and then after a delay of like 0.5 seconds it goes back to the entry, and if you release the left mouse button it closes. This is how you would make an assault rifle kind of a mechanic. Very very simple way of making an assault rifle mechanic. But yeah, so now let's move on to something more simple. We've explained about sequence. Now let's do flip-flops. Okay. I think I'll do all of these inside a character blueprint instead of these blueprints. These are like okay-ish, but character blueprint is where. You know what? Let's just go into new map. We don't need this map. I'll just go to here. Just go over here. We don't need this map. No, I'll not be sharing WhatsApp. I'll be sharing the PDFs right over here inside the in the live chat itself. I'll upload them on a Google Drive as soon as the session gets over, and then I'll upload it over here. But yeah, okay. So for those guys who are coming to this the session for the first time, if you guys want, I can do a recap of all of the previous previous session what I did in blueprints again in the next session. Like I can do a redo of the same session and explain blueprints in more detail and in more depth again. But yeah, this session also you guys can keep you guys can focus also on this, because I'm not explaining something that's like hi-fi or something that's really tough. That's not you won't be able to understand if you go back to the previous sessions. But yeah, um, and okay, so let me do it like this. I'll do a very brief recap of how Unreal Engine works for those who are completely new to it. So welcome to the editor, guys. This is the Unreal Engine editor. You have this is your game will most likely open default like in that map, and you know what? Let me just open Epic Games and open it from scratch and show you how you can open projects as well. Okay. If there's any disturbance or anything, just let me know. Uh, but yeah, if there's like any disturbance or anything, just let me know, and I'll wait 1 second. So, but yeah, okay, yeah, we have Epic Games open. Yes, so these are some of the projects. If you worked on any previous projects, it'll all appear over here. And these are the engine versions that has been installed. Right now, they even tell you if there's like an engine that's not working or something, you can repair them as well. And these are assets that you can collect from marketplace. I've been collecting a lot of free assets from, I think, last June or something. So it's like I have it there in my vault. But yeah, so if this is empty, don't worry. It's like this only. It's exactly like this. Uh, but yeah, don't have to worry about that. For those guys who's new, you just have to click on this plus icon, choose which engine editor you want. 5.3 is the latest, and there are a lot of cool VFX updates that have come out in 5.3. So I suggest if you guys want to check out those, you can install 5.3 as your latest one. But yeah, 5.2 is also pretty good. It's a very stable build, and 5.0.3 is also pretty good. And for those old projects which you usually don't see anymore, I usually keep a Unreal Engine 4 also installed, just in case anything happens or stuff like that. So you can install your engines over here. You can just go click on install, choose wherever you want. Inside your options, make sure that you take starter content and templates and features pack. These are very important. And this one is also important, engine source. Rest all, whichever target platforms, if you're planning to export your game into an Android, you can select those. I've selected these three on default as always, and you can select where you want to store it, and it will install over there. Simple as that. And you have these are some of the projects. As soon as you build, you can just launch from here. It will open up into a page, and it will ask you if you want to add a content pack or something. It'll look something like this. It'll look something like this. If you want, you can add like some templates which you can use. I've added a third-person template to this project so that I can kind of like use a third-person character. And so that's basically it about a bit of explanation of how Unreal Engine works. Okay, we have a game mode. So now if I play, I would play with the template. This is the default Unreal Engine third-person character template, and as you can see, you can like jump. You can't sprint or anything. Those are functionalities you need to add by yourselves. But those are like very easy to do. If you guys want, I can explain how to do those kind of easy, simple, quick functionalities inside your third-person character. But yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's explain it a bit in depth. I can always wrap up the session in a more easy manner a bit later on. But yeah, okay. So suppose this is the latest feature of Unreal Engine 5. If you guys don't have this, I'll explain how to do the old way as well. So what you need to do is in your third person, you'll already get a folder called input, and inside actions, you'll have a couple of already pre-made actions. So all you need to do is right click, and then you need to go to input and select input action. So what input action is, it's basically key mapping. You're applying a key. You just need to create this, that's all, and it will automatically do everything for you. You don't have to change any settings, nothing. And you can just name it like what exactly you need to set over here. And inside this IMC default, this is what you call a mapping this thing. So these are the list of mappings that are like already made. Like for the jump, you're mapped it to spacebar on your keyboard. You have the gamepad face button bottom, which is your A button or your X button in PS and Xbox controllers, or the touch one, which is your movement. And yeah, this is also for moving. You have the normal WASD as well as up, down, look, left, right, left. So this move contains both the arrow keys as well as the WASD keys. And then you have the look, which is your camera controls, and this would be your mouse XY 2D axis. So like everything is done over here. So if I want to add a new mapping, I would just click on this plus icon on top and select which one I want. So I've made a new thing called sprint. So I would be selecting sprint, and you can select which key. You can manually search for it, like keyboard, something like that. But if you don't want to do that, if it's like a bit time consuming or something like that, you just click on this and then select which key you want. So I've selected left shift, and it's automatically assigned over here. And then after that, you don't have to do anything again. All you need to do is inside a third person character, you can just now right click and you can search for enhance input sprint. No, not this one. You need to look for an event. So you can just like enhanced input sprint. Yeah, you'll need to go look for the one with the arrow icon. This means that it's an event. Alright, like this. You just have to look for this same arrow icon over here. And basically what happens is once you click on sprint, once it's like triggered, like when you click on this key on your keyboard, it should do something, right? That's our entire concept. So in this case, let's say I want to print shift key pressed. Okay, shift key pressed is my print string concept, what I'm trying to do over here. Now in my third person map, I play, and if I press shift, you can see like even if I hold it down, it's getting triggered like every time I hold the key down. If you want to do it for like one time, you would put it on started instead of triggered, and then you would execute it. See, I'm holding it down, but still it executes only once, like that. Yeah, see, I'm pressing it again, like that. That's how it works. For those who don't know what's happening, please keep an eye on the top where my mouse is pointing. That's where the debugging thing, the messages come. Whatever I'm typing inside print string. So print string is nothing like a node where you can check for bugs. Like you can place this in specific areas of a code, and if it gets executed, that means your code is reaching to that particular area. So like suppose for example, this and all is happening, but then my camera is not looking properly. So you can like either check if like you can add a print string over here and see like if the string is getting like executed, that means the code is moving, it's reaching here and it's moving past. If not, that means there is some problem in the earlier part of your code, and that's exactly how we use print string as a debugging tool. And yeah, you may even have a couple of other stuff like you can like hook this up to cancel meaning on released. So every time you press the shift key and release it, it will pop up there. That's how shift key works. But yeah, so you guys can try it out. I'm gonna come back to the messages. Okay, yeah, so the entire course that you'll be following, the 2cc course, it will have a mixture of Unreal Engine as well as Unity. You guys are welcome to attend both sessions and understand how both the editors work. There is no compulsion to join both of them. If you have registered, we'll be explaining all about, I'll be explaining, my name is Ashwin Ravi Kumar. I'll type it on chat for you guys as well over here. I exclusively take Unreal Engine courses, as well as I explain game designs and game narratives. a little bit, as far as I know. And we have other people. We have Shan, we have Wahaj. They'll be explaining Unity, and as well as we have a person who will be dealing with video editing as well. So we'll be having all of these sessions on different engines, and mostly we'll be focusing on Unreal and Unity, because that's where everyone would go for. And yeah, if you have any doubt, or if you want to start like jumpstart your learning process into Unreal Engine, we can help you guys. Like I can do it, at least for Unreal Engine. I can tell you what to see, how to do it, what courses might be like good to understand more in depth. And as far as I can help you guys, I can even teach you, if you guys really want me to. We can have like a proper session on creating a proper one game, like a proper game we can build as well, inside Unreal Engine, and we can have like everything related to that. Stuff like that we can have inside the 2CC sessions as well. And yeah, so you don't it's upon you what you want to attend, what you don't want to attend. We kind of like promote attending all the sessions and all the courses, so it will be much more easier, and it will be much more informative in a sense. Yeah. So let's move on. You guys can come back to this recording again, and then probably if you guys want to go like a 2x speed or something, you can see whatever we've done and try it out by yourselves. But yeah, now I'll just be continuing with how the inputs work over here. So the latest one, we have the enhanced input sections, and as you can see, you can bring an event after you create your action from over here, and then after that you add it into the input mapping context, into this file over here, which is created by default in the third person template. But if you want to create it from scratch, you would have to go over here to input, and then you'll have both the input action as well as the input mapping context. You need only one for your game, because then that would handle all of your inputs. And the older way of doing stuff would be to go to edit on top, and you would be selecting project settings, and inside project settings there is something called input. You have both enhanced input, you have this as well, and you also have just basic input. And as you can see, access and action mappings are now deprecated. Please use enhanced input actions and input mapping context instead. So this is like the old version, which you will see mostly in 5.0.3 as well as 4.27 and stuff. You'll have this will be more what would be there in Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5.0 versions. But yeah, so what is difference between action and access? Action is an action. It's like suppose you press Q once, and that's it. That's all that happens. It's the value is either it's not pressed or it's pressed. It's either true or it's false, basically like that. So for jump, we usually map action mappings to like abilities, or like a jump ability, or like a left mouse button. If you click it once, it should do that. Stuff like that. What access mappings are is it's mostly related with a range of values. So this would be like your mouse axis, like it can move both x and y axis. It can look up and down, meaning x or y axis, and stuff like that. So that's how exactly, like here you can see this is for the gamepad. Then you can see this is for the mouse Y. Look up and down means mouse Y. And this is like all of the old ones. If I wanted to create a sprint event, it would not be an axis mapping, but instead it would be an action mapping, because when you click sprint, you just want it to sprint, right? You don't want a range of values to do something for you. So I can do it like left shift again, and then come to third person, and then you can just type sprint. You will get the old sprint. This is how the old input works. So this also, if you just press it and compile, save, that's it. That's all. It works exactly same. See, works exactly the same as your input action sprint. So the reason why we use enhanced input action is it has a lot of like what do you say more number of functionality, right? It gives a lot more functionality to your keystrokes inside your game and stuff like that. So like triggered is there. If you wanted to do only once, you would put it on started. That you will not be able to do it on sprint. You would have to hook up a timer and stuff like that, and then see if the player is still holding down the key and stuff. You'll have to like drag out from here. There's a complete other function for that, you know, for sprint. But yeah, so let's move on. Let's not be delayed. So on a sprint, when we're like holding it, or no, actually when we're starting, when we click on sprint, we want the value of the guy to run, right? So you would go to character movement. You would drag out. If you drag out this component from here, from this tab, it will automatically get the variable. And from here, from this blue dot over here, you would drag out, leave it open, and then you would type for the word set max walk speed. Okay, so what is this max walk speed? If character movement component, it's called a component, an actor component. So basically, what this component does is it handles all the logic related to walking, falling, swimming, flying, all those stuff. You can create this by scratch, but this is in like it's inside C++, as you can see written down in the source over here. It's inherited C++. This is Unreal Engine's internal code. If you want to change anything in this, you would have to go inside the engine's source code and change the character movement component from there itself. And what happens over here is, okay, so let's say a character is now walking with a speed of 500 centimeters per second. Let's say I'm going to make this to 200 centimeters per second. So now you can see how fast the character will be walking. See, he's automatically walking. Okay. If you increase this value to like let's say I wanted to increase it to like 800, something like that. Okay. So now if you walk, so now he's literally running, like he's literally like running, and that's how walk speed works. Okay, there's no doubts. Awesome. You can like edit this value and go crazy with it. If you do like say 100,000 centimeters per second, this guy will be like Flash, basically. See. This is how. So basically, he'll be like running. If you want to give him a little bit more way to walk, you can like select the floor, go over here and select scale, or you can use WER, W for translating, like this, E for rotating, like this, and R to select the scale option on your keyboard. And yeah, let's select this scale. Okay, and now we have like a bit more area to work with. And I'm going to be tagging our player start somewhere here. Okay, and now you can see this in working in hand. So now you can see I'm literally running like Flash, and I've reached the edge and I've flown out of the map, which is something we were not supposed to do. But yeah, so this is how you would control sprint inside the game. If you want to like now let's put this back to default 600 right now. Okay. And so when you click on this, you want to set the value from 600 to let's say 800. Okay, and when it's cancelled, basically when you release it, you want to do the same. Because once you set it, it will not set back. It will not automatically revert the value back. You need to revert it again by yourself. So either I think. I think both works. Let's say we're going back to 600. Now you can see this working. So now I'm not pressing shift. He's walking normally. Now if I press shift, now he's running. See, Now he's walking normally. In a shift he's running, like that. Like that's how it works. If I now hold shift, he's actually sprinting. Now if you leave it, he's actually just normally walking. And if you want to like reduce the speed to see it a bit more visually, let's say let's go back to the character movement component. From here, let's initially add it to 300. Let's let it be low, and let's just also be 300. So this is how you would control your speed of your character, like in games like Last of Us. See, now I'm pressing shift. I press it once, and now if I leave it, okay, it did not set the value back. Let's say completed. It should not be cancelled but completed. Now let's see if this works. Yeah, now it works. So you can see that it works perfectly. Now if I stop, I'm not holding shift, he's walking. If I hold shift, he's now jogging. Now if I stop holding shift, he's walking again. So that's exactly how you can create a trigger action and control the speed of your character. There's a lot of things you can do, go like really crazy with this in the character movement component sections as well. You can increase the gravity as well, I think, if I'm right. Jump velocity, you can like jump higher. So suppose if I set it to like 10,000, let's say 10,000, how it works. As well as if you can't find something, just go up over here and yeah. So your gravity scale right now is at 1.75, but let's say you set it to 0.5. 0.5. So now I'm literally going to like fly mostly when I jump. See? Yeah. There's so less gravity. It's not even pulling the character down at this point. It's that this thing, and your jump velocity is also high. So now if you like go back and then you try it again. Oh, okay. This guy never comes back down. He's flying. Let's go. I think it's because of the other setting that we just did. The not the gravity one, but the jump velocity. Let's set it to yeah, 10,000 was a bit too much. Let's set it to 2,000. Let's say 1,500. This should be a decent enough explanation, probably. Yeah, this looks much better. The other one was like nonsense. And yeah, so this is still at like normal gravity. If you change this to like 0.5, this guy will still be floating in the air a bit more. See, that's how gravity works in game. You can control the gravity. You can even change it inside game. Like you can set the value manually like this as well, and change the gravity of the character. Okay, no other messages that are here. That's awesome. But yeah, let's revert all of these back to like default settings. We don't need these. Let's go back. Now let's see if the character, how we see doing. Yeah, this looks pretty fine. Okay, so you hold shift, he's gonna run. Yeah, that's how it works. So now you guys understood how sprint works, and this is how you would like change characters, how would you use input, some basic idea I gave. But yeah, let's get back to actually today's session. We were discussing flip-flop. So yeah, so actually wait, best example of flip-flop was this. Okay, so you know how toggling works, right? In some games, right? In some games you would want to like press the key again rather than what do you say, going and manually changing the value by yourself. You would actually just want to click it once and just toggle the value between 800 and 300 again and again. So let's go here and set this to be also 300, and yeah, we're good to go. Okay, so now a sprint is only on started, and right now just for visual representation, I think you guys might not understand, so I'll tell you when I'm pressing shift key, press right, press, and let's have some other word over here so that you guys can see it in action. Let's say press again, something like that. So you guys will know that there's a difference between pressing it once and pressing it twice. So now I'm pressing it once. Now he's walking. He's jogging. If I press it again, he's walking again, and as you can see, it's pressed again. And that's how flip flop works. So basically, it just like if the value of the flip flop was A initially, it would then go to it would do A, and then when it comes back to the flip flop, when you trigger it again, then it will check, okay, it was A before, so let's go to B now, and then it will do B, and then it will come back and then do A again, and then B. So that's how flip flop works. This is a very simple flow control node. It's very useful, especially for stuff like this, toggling and everything. A very good flip flop, and you can see this is like a very good example of this. You guys can check this out in this PDF once, okay, even if you get a chance to do so. But yeah, let's go through the next one. Okay, let's do a simple example. We're going to be explaining the sprint mechanic over and over again. So let's use the next one, do once. So what do once does is do once will only do whatever you have done once, and then if you do it again, like if you press shift again in this example, it will not do it. So now I press shift. No matter how many times I press shift again, it does not do anything because it's like completely stops and blocks.
So I can interrupt in the middle, but it's better if you turn on the webcam and the later everything.
So this is exactly how do once works. So unless you do something to reset this particular once, it will again not work. Let's put both the do once, and along with that, let's add the whole flip flop. So you'll get a better understanding of how do once works. Yeah. Now this will be a much more better example. And now let's say let's go back to the project settings. Instead of sprint, I'm putting another key. I'm pressing Q. Right. And for this, my button is also Q. Actually, we don't need this. We just let's delete this. It's not really required at this point. You can add keys inside the blueprint as well. So you just go to keyboard events, just click on Q, and yeah. So if I press Q on my keyboard, it will reset this once, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So now, if I'm running and I press shift, it's getting pressed, but if I'm pressing shift again, it doesn't work. It doesn't revert back. So now I have to press Q, and then if I press shift, it does it. Yeah, now again, if I press shift, it doesn't do anything again. But if I press Q and then press shift, then it works. So this is how do once works. Basically, it only allows you to do it once unless you want to reset it. So probably you can only sprint again if you press spacebar. That's the only way you get to sprint again. And you can create very crazy mechanics or something that would restrict the player for unconventional ways and stuff like that. And that's how do once works. Let's go to the next one. Do n is the exact same thing as do once, but instead of doing do once, basically you can do it n times before it gets resetted. So let's say from started, I'll do n. That is do n. You can search for it here itself. It'll be this. Yeah, do n. So let's say I want to switch again and again. Let's say up to 4 times. And then later, unless I press Q, till then you can't switch between the speeds. So let's start. So now I'm pressing it once, twice, 3 times, 4th time. I think one more it will work. No, it's not working. Yeah, so 4. It stopped. It's capped. It's it's not letting me press shift again. It's not doing anything. Now I have to press Q and then press shift, and now you can see once, twice, thrice, 4 times, and then again nothing. So this is how do n works. Yes, there aren't any doubts over here. That's awesome. But yeah, so let's move forward again. That's how do n works. You can see there's like a very simple example for do n and do ones. You know, but let's move on. Multi-gate. Okay. Before I go to multi-gate, for those who don't remember gate, I'll explain gate. It's simple. If I press start and it's started closed, it will not let me open it. Let's see, is this a better example? Okay. It's a very weird mechanic. Let's see if this works or not. Yeah, it works. Okay. Let's even do this.
भाई एक्सपोर्ट है यहाँ पे चार्जर है शुभम उधर कौन सा वाला उधर लगा हुआ एक्सटेंशन नाइस 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 थैंक यू
And then let's say another print string.
I will have to remove this one. Okay, which is the laptop charger? This one, right? Is this the laptop?
Yeah.
I'll just move the plug bit here because I want.
Oh, that was monitor.
कोई यहाँ पे bottle कितना है? हाँ? पता नहीं भाई.
Just guys, just give it a second. Last minute. Yeah, so let's explaining how gate works. So yeah, this is the best functionality I can explain. But yeah, let's go. So now if I press shift, nothing really happens because our gate is currently, as you can see over here, it starts closed. So basically, when I press print, it enters the gate, but it can't exit because right now the gate is closed. Now in order to open it, I need to hold Q down, and then it will open. And as soon as I release it, it will close. So that's how gate works exactly. You can so now if I'm like holding Q, as you can see now Q is pressed. If I release it, it will show Q released. Now holding Q pressed, and then I press shift. Now it works. Now if I release it, and now if I like, you can press it again. It's pressed again, and it like reverts back to like the walking animation. And now if I release Q and then press shift, it doesn't work. So that's exactly how gate works. So gate is something like you can control the flow of code. Like if you want it to stop, you can stop it, and if you want to open it, you can open it. And that's exactly how it works. This is one way of doing it. The other one is, I think if we just directly put this on toggle, then it would be much more easier. Let's see. Yeah. So now if I press Q, now it works. Yeah, you can press again. But if I press Q again, I'm not able to revert back. If I press Q again, it's like just toggling. It works exactly like a flip flop. But yeah, same functionality, but in a different sense. To open and close gates. That's all. And yeah, so that's basically about it for the multi-gate one. Sorry, for the gate. This is all right. You guys can explore. This is very easy stuff. It's not really that much used at all. This is basically for like those who want to give like explanations or like add text renders and stuff like that inside the game. Modulo. For those people who know the normal arithmetic operations, you have let's go over here. You have the plus, the minus. In computer language, for multiplication you would use star, for division you have division, and if you want to find remainder, it's the percentage symbol. So modulo is exactly that. It's a percentage symbol. It basically gives you the remainder of whatever is divided. That's all. So very simple understanding. Let's go to clamp. Clamp is a very important function. How would I explain clamp now? Okay, if I want to explain clamp, best way to do it is with health, I guess. Okay, let's see if we can add the same value of clamp somewhere inside this workspace. Okay. Clamp float. So this is basically what clamp is. So whatever value is inputted over here, if it's in between 0 and 1, that value is taken. If it's above, if it's less than 0, then the value will be 0, and if it's less than like the maximum value, that's 1 in this case, then it will automatically set it to 1. So that's exactly what clamp does. Basically, like let's give an example. Suppose our upper and lower limits. In this case, you need a minimum and maximum. So let's say our upper and lower limits are -1 and 1 for like easy explanation. So in like the number timeline, like if you guys remember the old number line, let's say this is -1 and 0. Any number over here, like over here, the value will be taken instantly, but any value over here or over here, it will automatically set it to -1 and to +1. That's exactly what clamp does. So basically it only restricts the value of this particular float mean the data type, this particular speed, to be between 0 and let's say, now in this case let's say it to be between 0 and 300. Okay, and let's take get max box speed. You know what, let's put this to 300, let's put this to 800. So no matter what you do, it has to be between these two values. And from character movement, let's get max walk speed, and like suppose, let's say we are like subtracting it by 1000. Okay, and then we put this value over here. So basically, even if it goes to like negative, or like no matter how low or like how small this value goes, it will always be set to 300. Like that's like the clamp part, and the same thing you can add the above one. It's a very different way of setting the variables. In this case, instead of reducing it, let's arrange this in a bit more better format. Let's bring this to a plus icon. Plus, let's say 1000. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the value is. In the end, no matter what you change, it will always be set to between 300 and 800. And if you want to see a visual representation of that, let's add a print string as well. Instead of that, this will be connected to print string, and the same for here as well. Print string. Yeah. So the value before this, let's see now. So now it's at 800. If I press again, it's back to 300. No matter what happens, it just goes between 800 and 300. There's like literally no difference. But yes, that's how clamp exactly works. A very simple example of how clamp can work. let's do this. Let's explain how this can work. We can like delete all of this code. I don't think we literally need this for now. We've been using sprint mechanic too much, so let's just go to a normal event tick. It's the best way to explain a lot of things. And let's do the interp2. Where is interp? Search over here. So f interp meaning float interp, r interp meaning rotator interp, and t interp meaning transform. That's basically location, rotation, and scale, all three variables stored together. So we're going to be using f interp because we just need the float part. So basically this would go into delta time. Okay. We can do set max walk speed again. Let's use speed only because it's the most easiest representative over here. We need to drag it out. You won't get max walk speed unless you drag out the character movement component. So yeah. So we can add this over here, and let's say yeah, so our current is again we need to put the character movement, get the speed value, max speed. It's currently 0, and we want it to reach let's say 800, or let's just say 900, and at like speed of 1 second. So basically this is the fastest value, like it how fast this value can reach over there. So now if I start, let's see, does this work? Don't need hello, we need this. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see, it's setting the value up to 900. It's getting as close as it, but eventually it never ever reaches 900. But it's trying to get as close as possible as it can to 900. So that's exactly how interp works. Like it starts from 300, as you can see. It starts from 300 and then moves. It starts in it like increases super fast, but it takes a lot of time to reach the final. So like if you want a curve representative, it would be something like this. Like it would start super fast and then it would like gradually reach, and like this is how interp works. Yeah, so let's say this was 900, and let's say this part was 300. So we can like erase. Basically it starts here, something look something like this. It'll never reach 900, will be like tending towards 900. That's how exactly interp works. But yeah, now you can use this for like many other stuff. What is an active forward vector? So basically, if you want to find like what's the forward direction of the character, then you would use a forward vector for it. And in this case, since this is a character, you can just like get active forward vector, and you'll get this. It's pretty simple. So that's all. You even have get actor up vector, right vector. So you can see over here itself. Where is it? Yeah. So you have forward vector, location, right vector, up vector, rotation, scale, transform. It's all there. So that's how exactly how forward vector works. Okay, there's like a lot more there. Is there any doubts anyone has? Just message over here and I'll explain it. Hmm.
शुभम मैं नहाने जा रहा हूँ, जस्ट इन केस कुछ होगा तो आधे घंटे के बाद ही ओपन होगा, ठीक है?
Okay. Let's do like this. Let's end today's session at this point because there's like a lot of information that has been grabbed in today's session. Okay. All those who are currently watching, if you guys are interested in making a game, or do you want to continue on with this session in the next stream, or do you want to like learn how to create like a custom game in Unreal Engine? It's completely upon you. So if you guys all say that, let's make a mini game on Unreal, and I'll be teaching you exactly how to make. And let's say the game is an FPS shooter. Let's put this on table right now. I love making hack and slash games, like with a lot of animations and stuff. But let's go for a normal FPS games because that's what a lot of people like. Or it's upon you guys. What do you guys what do you want me to explain? Let's we can make that kind of a game. If you guys want, you can like type it on chat so that I can like know what kind of games you guys want. We can go for something simple as well. We can make like ball games or something like super simple, like paper toss or something like that. But yeah, if you want to see some simple game ideas, like while you guys write on chat, I'll show something else. Some of my old projects. So let's say Unreal Engine projects, backup ones. Yeah. So this is this is the very first game I made, very old one for like starter purposes. So it's very simple. It's like Atari Breakout, but in 3D. That's like the entire concept. And you get to control this paddle. You have lives as well. Yeah, so if you miss that simple game, so okay, someone has given a really nice description. Okay, if you guys, we can even do just a normal walking simulator. If you guys want to do a horror game series, we have not done that before. I'm down to take like a horror, like how to make all of the horror mechanics, walking simulators. So we can have someone like Shamitra or someone else to explain level design, or I can teach you as far as I know how level design works, and then after that we can go for like a proper horror simulator kind of a not simulator but like a horror game mechanic, something like that. We can go for an explanation of that as well. We can have this session starting from next week onwards. It'll all be very basic mechanics, like how to use like a flashlight. We can learn a lot about yep, that works. Let's go for those mechanics then. Yep, so alright then, let's end today's session at this point, and let's continue on in the next session, the next series. Let's start working on a proper building game, and please go through all of the previous videos if you can. You have the volume 1 over here, as well as okay, wait, for those who want me to share the PDF, I'll just share you where I got them from, so you guys can download it directly from there. So this guy Romero, he created these blueprints. He's also started on verse language now, but yeah. So you can just go over here, table of contents. I don't know which button is this. Which button? Yeah. So yeah, you can just download this. Just click on this, and it will download the PDF for you. So I've already downloaded it, but yeah, these are like all the 3 volumes of all blueprints, and then just go and explore all of this. That's what I would suggest. So yeah, I'll send the link for this as well. And okay, as for the next session, please download 5.3.0 engine. I'll be downloading that and starting Unreal Engine explanation from that engine now. And yep, so that's about it. If there are any doubts, you guys can like message me on this number. Okay, and you're welcome to message me, ask me any doubts about Unreal Engine or about game design in specific, and I'll be there to help you out in these topics. And with that, I'll end today's session. Let's go back to the thumbnail because I can't be showing my chats to everybody. Okay, where is okay. Oh yeah, we got the attendance link. Okay. Yeah, I'll be sharing the attendance right now on the YouTube channel. So please mark yourselves as present over here. And yeah, so I've sent the form link. Please mark yourselves as present, and then you guys will be receiving attendance for this particular session as well. And yeah, next session onwards, let's work on creating a proper walking simulator horror game. It will not be called a horror game because that sounds completely. I don't know. We'll workshop the title and stuff. Don't worry. But yeah, thank you guys for joining today. That'll be all. Bye guys.